another Mote pop-up PD. Really excited to be saying hello after a couple of months absence. We've been working very hard behind the scenes, and I'm really pleased to be welcoming along my colleague Greg from Mote. So hello, Greg, how are you?
Hi, John. I'm doing well. Excited to be here for another edition of Pop-Up PD.
Fantastic. And yeah, one of the things that we have been working on at Mote is the development of a brand new iOS app. So I'm really excited because I know that you've been putting together a few posts and some ideas that teachers and their students could go away with just to get going with this particular new addition to the Mote feature family.
Absolutely. So with the iOS app, I'm super excited and thinking about the ability for teachers like on the go, on a prep period, maybe even on a lunch duty, in the teacher workroom, at home on the couch to be able to like grab their phone, head over to Google Classroom and just quickly leave some just like really quality, thoughtful feedback with audio. And we can kind of walk you through the whole process.
Fantastic. So what I'm going to do now, just in case you haven't been a visitor at one of our pop-up PDs before, what we're going to be doing is taking about the next 10 or 15 minutes to guide you through some ideas of different ways that you might like to start using Mote. So just as Greg says, like he's got a few ideas for the iOS app. So I'm going to be sharing his screen and we'll both be giving one or two demonstrations in this particular pop-up PD. And any questions at all, please throw them to us in the chat or follow up on socials, and we would be delighted to help in any way that we can. So I'm going to leave this over to you, Greg. I'm just going to be hovering over here to the side, but please don't let that disturb you. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to be sharing with us right now.
Excellent. So as you can see here, we're on an iOS device. If you head to the App Store and search for Mote, you can install the Mote app. Now, when you first install it, there's a bit of a walkthrough process, and the app walks you through it brilliantly of just enabling Mote as a keyboard on your device so you can record audio. So you can see here, I have Mote installed. I have the core tools we might use in a classroom environment, Google Classroom, Google Docs, Google Slides. So let's demo the process of a teacher opening up Google Classroom, heading into a class, and then I'm just going to jump over to the classwork tab on the bottom, and you can see I have an assignment right here. So I'm going to go to that assignment, and you can see there we have John who is working on his assignment. Now, if I wanted to give John some feedback, here's the process on a mobile device, on an iOS device. I'll just tap on John's name, and then just like we would always see, there's the add private comment field. Now, normally we would type a comment in. But with the Mote iOS app, what we can do now is tap on add private comment, and notice how my keyboard pops up. Now, because I've already enabled the Mote keyboard on my phone, I'm going to tap on that little globe icon way in the bottom left-hand corner there. And you can see that the Mote icon appears to record, the same icon we see across the web that we're really used to. So I'll tap on that, and notice I get an immediate redirect to the Mote app. We'll do a 3, 2, 1, and now I'm leaving audio feedback for John. So I can go through at kind of like any pace that I'd like, go into as much detail as I'd like. And what I love about the app is just how intuitive it is. So now when I'm done recording, if I tap the Mote icon one more time, it's going to process that audio that I've just created. And notice it's redirecting us like, hey, go ahead, head back to the app you were in. So I'll just tap on Google Classroom in the top left. It redirects me, and there's my audio. There's the link to the Mote. So I'm just going to send that through to John, and there it is. So now he has my audio. So that's the whole process. I can head back out, tap on my next student, again, go to the private comment. Now, what I also want to share with you, and John, if we want to just toggle over in just a second, we have some helpful resources for you. So let me share those as well.
Can I just say that I've actually taken the time to listen very carefully to that feedback, Greg, and I will take that on board. Thank you so much. Super useful as always, and I'm sure that my learning will only be on an upward trajectory from this point forward. Thank you, Greg.
Excellent. So if you want to share this next resource, so on the Mote Hub, we have this resource for you that walks through all of the processes. So if you'd like to leave feedback on the go with your iOS device, we walk you through the whole process. If you'd like to do that in Google Classroom, there it is with a video walkthrough. If you would like to leave feedback in the comment section of Google Docs or Google Slides, we have you covered there. And then even if you'd like to leave feedback in the body of a document, we can do that as well. Now, one other resource that I'd like to share as well, Jon, if you just give me one more second to get that shared
No
out.
problem. And what I'm going to do, just while you're finding that, Greg, is I'm actually going to just share a link to the hub. So just head over to the hub, guys, and you'll be able to find out all of these ideas that we're sharing today, but also some others. You can find one or two blog posts too, lots of resources, even how you and your colleagues could leverage the wonderful Mote amplifier package that we created in collaboration with Paola from Slides Mania. So yeah, I'm going to share your screen again here, Greg.
Yeah, so one last resource on the Mote YouTube channel. If you head over to our playlist, we have a playlist devoted to all things Mote on iOS, and we'll be adding to that as kind of new capacity comes out for that mobile app. And then, of course, we have all the other helpful playlists, all the MoteCon archive videos, and Sue's new resources on Mote for students. So plenty of awesome resources over there to dig into.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Greg. So we've actually got, we've just broken through the 1,500 subscriber account for our YouTube channel, which we're really, really happy with. But I think one of the reasons that it's grown is because we've had really positive feedback from our growing community of educators in how they are really being able to just jump into one or two of those playlists to pick up an idea or two, and then to take that back to their classroom, and even in some cases to share it with their wider school community for particular teachers that they know would benefit from those ideas. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe to us on YouTube. At the very least, please head over and just dip into a few of those videos. As Greg mentioned, one of those playlists is for MoteCon. That was our first ever Motiest conference of all time. Happened this past weekend on the 20th and 21st of August. So if you missed it, I've got to be honest, you did miss out, but it doesn't have to be a long-term missing out. You can head over and you can enjoy all of the learning and pedagogical treats that were shared at your own time, and just jump in and try all of those resources. Okay, so speaking of different resources and different ideas, I'm actually going to share an idea now. And this idea is something which I have seen a few people share that they're doing to start their school year. But not only that, it's the idea of you might have something physical that you would like to attach an audio note to. So let's imagine, for example, you wanted to have a school tour and to improve the accessibility, so a few QR codes dotted around the school. Or maybe you had a notice board that was to celebrate the achievements of your students. You might have yourself, the principal, maybe even one of the students talking about what that particular display means to them. And the example that I'm just about to share is actually for something that you might want to send home. So in this case, it's a postcard, which is introducing parents and the student to their new teacher. But it could just as easily be like for a praise postcard. So something that you want tangibly to send home to parents. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so here we are. I am over on this slide deck that I have actually taken one of the slides from a template that I've borrowed from Slides Mania. So just if you want this, all you need to do is head over to slidesmania.com and you can look for this in the back to school section. Now, this is a rather flattering picture of myself, but you can go ahead and just tap that and replace it with an image of your own. And you'll notice down here that I've actually inserted a placeholder. This is the only edit that I've made to the page, so it's an image placeholder. And you'll see exactly how I'm going to use it in just a second. But the idea for this being is that any teacher can very quickly create a card that they can send home just to help to build that personal connection. Not only at the start of the year, as I said, you might also want to use them for praise postcards. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and it's going to take me less than a minute. So set the timers on your virtual stopwatches, and away I go. Up here, you have the Mote extension in your browser. If you tap on it, you get this new pop-up appear. I'm going to tap here to record a Mote. Hi everyone, I'm super excited to meet with you and to start this year's learning journey together. We're going to have a great time. See you on Monday. So that has now been copied to my clipboard. And what I can now do, Greg, is I can open up a new tab and very simply just go ahead and paste that link in, and this is going to take me to the Mote's landing page. Now you'll see that I have the Mote here that I can listen back to. Hi everyone. There it is, ready to go. Now this is where the QR magic comes in. If I right click on this page, I can create a QR code for it. So I'm going to create a QR code. I'm now going to download the QR. I'm going to head back to the slide deck. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to show you how to insert an image onto the placeholder by clicking. I'm going to go to upload from my computer. You can also drag it in from the bottom left-hand corner, but I'm just going to click on upload. I'm going to choose the QR code that I just made. And there we have it, Greg. We have this card that I could send home to all of the families in my, let's say, for example, you have your class at the start of the day that maybe you're involved with for pastoral activities, but you might want to use it later in the year just as a congratulatory card for something well done. But there we go. So super smooth. And I think that was less than a minute. Am I right?
If you want to share my screen, we can get an official countdown there.
There we go. Oh, come on. I think we need a recount. I think you've got something wrong with your timer, Greg. But anyway,
it's pretty official.
In the region of a minute, that's still pretty impressive. And once that's done, as I said, you'd be able to use that just the same, not only for postcards and things going home, but there are lots of ways that we know that our creative community would be coming up with some great ideas to use just that. So we're going to be moving on to another share here. What is it you're going to be sharing this time, Greg?
So we know that maybe the most powerful way that teachers can impact student learning and the role that Mote can play in their classroom is to provide just really quality feedback for students. So on the Mote Hub, we have a new resource that you can use in your school or district or with your colleagues. And if you head over to learn.mote.com and then check out the hub, which is all the ideas and resources we have for classrooms. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom because we have a new resource down here, which is our Feedback Masterclass. So if you click to open up the Feedback Masterclass, what we have is an 8-part video series that walks you through the entire process from really defining and understanding what we mean by quality feedback all the way through creating high quality feedback with Mote and every step in between. So when you land on this page, we have a nice little welcome to the experience, and then it's really broken up kind of like step by step. Now, as Jon mentioned earlier, using a resource from Slides Mania and all the awesome designs that Paula has over there, she's actually also designed our slide deck for the Feedback Masterclass. If you'd like to grab a copy of that, you can do that right here, and all the resources and ideas and processes are archived in that. But like I mentioned, if you'd like to go through this kind of at your own pace, it could be like a mini feedback, kind of like asynchronous course that you could take, a little micro course. We start with why feedback and a little bit of time to reflect, the various types of feedback, how to create impactful feedback, different obstacles or challenges you might face. And as you can see here, this full 8-part series is ready for you or your district or your PLC or your department or grade level to explore. So really helpful resource there. We think it can bring a lot of value to teachers that aren't using Mote to have them really see like what could it look like with high quality audio if you're already a Mote user and you're really looking to impact kind of the learning. And like I think I say it over and over again in this video series is kind of like diminish and minimize the gap between where you want your students to be and where they are right now, and how we can do that with feedback and audio and Mote.
Awesome, Greg. Thank you. And I would just say, like, I know that Greg has spent an immeasurable amount of time, like, researching this and refining it and making it as accessible as possible. So I would just reiterate that it is a really wonderfully put together course. That there'd be something for every teacher, regardless of the age and the subject, or even your role within the school. So please have a look at it. We'd love to get your feedback on the Feedback Masterclass. And we are also very much looking forward to, hopefully in September, putting on a sort of mini hour or two session. So it would be like a MoteCon, but like a bit of a smaller-ized version of that, but just one in which we would welcome educators from all over the world just to join in so we could learn together and share in best practice, because we all know as teachers, for some of us the title former teachers, but we all know that feedback is an art, and just like all forms of artistry, Greg, it's really important that we reflect on our own practice, and that the idea of being able to tap into something like this is something that I am really, really excited about. So, yeah. And again, thank you to Paola from Slides Mania for collaborating with us to make this look awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to remove that from the stream. And so we are wrapping up. I think we've polished it off within about 15 minutes there, which is, as we said at the start, that's the sort of standard time for a pop-up PD. So please follow us across socials, join our Facebook community. I did share the link before, but I'll just drop that in again here. Very active Facebook community of around 1,500 as well. So any questions or whatever, you can throw it out into the community there. Please connect with us across socials. Really excited to hear the way that you are using Mote for learning and with your students. But until next time, all that leaves me to say is thank you for joining us, and thank you as ever, Greg, for being a source of inspiration for us all. And
Thanks, John. It's always awesome to connect on these pop-ups.
yeah, and we will see everyone soon. Cheers, guys.